In today's video, we'll talk about the story of Charlie Munger, one of the richest men in the world. His advice is worth its weight in gold, so I ask that you pay close attention. When I was 14 years old, my life changed thanks to a logic book that my father gave me. That book taught me that logic was the basis of all reasoning. From that moment, I became deeply interested in mathematics and logic, and I began to read books about probability and statistics. I was fascinated by how these concepts could be applied to real life. There were things that went up and down, and I analyzed them and graphed them. I read books by authors like Richard Thaler and Daniel Kahneman on human behavior and financial decisions. They were classics then, hundreds of pages, and I read them all over and over again. Everything. And I thought the important thing was to predict what a stock would do, and I predicted the stock market. At 20, I read Benjamin Graham, and I realized that I was doing everything the wrong way. It didn't hurt to have discovered it. It reorganized my mind, and when I read The Intelligent Investor, from that moment, I never bought stocks again. I bought companies that happened to be publicly traded, but I became a business owner. I didn't care if a stock went up or down the next day, the next week, next month, or next year. I had no idea what it would do. I didn't know what would happen to the stock market. I did it, but I knew it. Businesses are for brilliant guys. Who is terribly interested in what he does? I have spent my whole life doing it. I surrounded myself with people who contribute to me, bring out the best in me. You don't need to be a genius in what I do. That's the good thing about if I was in physics and a lot of other subjects where I would be a second rate. But I'm in a game that you probably need 120 IQ points, yes, but 170 is not enough. If it is better than 120, it may be worse. I'll probably do worse, but not really. I need brains. What you need? You need the right guidance. You know 90% of the people pulling the figure out of thin air. But 90% of the people who buy stocks don't think about them the right way. They think of something that they hope goes up next week and think of the market as something that they hope goes up. And if it goes down, they feel worse. They feel better. And you think about what I think about what the company will be worth in 10 or 20 years, and I hope it goes down when I buy it because I will buy more. I try to keep my competitive experience. In a game where I can win, I know this. When I want to do something, I always go big. I put my entire net worth in Berkshire Hathaway, preferred 114.75, and I have never. Since that day, and now March 11th, 1942, I have never had less than 80% of my money in American business. You can call them stocks, okay? But I see them as an American business. I owned a part of an American business, at least 80 at all times. I just don't want to own anything else. I want to have a house and, things that my family wants and all that. But having 5 houses doesn't mean anything to me because I'm going to be happy in one house. And there's a certain amount of things that go wrong with everything. And if I have 2 houses, I know I have more problems and I don't have more happiness. What brings you happiness? What makes you happy? My greatest happiness is what I do. I enjoy 2 things about doing it. 1, I know I will win over time. That's me, not beating others or anything. I like that, but I mean the game is very, very, very easy if you have the lessons in your mind about what you are. I'm not buying stocks. I'm buying my own shares, pieces of overwhelming majority American businesses, and I'm happy when I do it. I'm happier when stocks go down because I can buy more of them with the same amount of money I would be happy if I had. If I were a farmer, I would want to have farmland. Down so I can buy more land, it just makes sense. I'll tell you the second. One thing I really like is being trusted. By people, I would rather do what I do with partners than do it sitting in a room myself, even though I might make more money that way. Let's assume that there is no stock market. Let's say I had to buy them privately, like you buy a farm privately, like you buy a house, apartment product. They are investments then. What can I do? With the money I have saved to keep it, so I feel good about getting it back. Later, under any circumstances, but not necessarily at any given time, but if I have a farm, it will take me a while. While people would be much better off if they didn't actually have stock market in terms of buying companies. Economy of the United States, and it's very easy to look at the statistics about it. More people, a greater percentage of Americans' population is rich now or has more income now than they ever have. And if we look at if Bank of America would give you their average deposit, you just look at wealth. That doesn't mean everyone is rich, but it does mean relative to any other period of time. People have more money now. They get mortgages at lower prices rates than they ever have. So if they want to buy a house or something, nowadays you live in an environment where the bottom 2% in terms of income in the United States are the lowest high percentage. And sure, the first percent, we all live better than John D. Rockefeller was living when I was 6 years old. Charlie Munger grew up in a middle-class family in California. At age 14, his father gave him a logic book that changed his life. That book led him to become deeply interested in mathematics and logic. He began reading books on probability and statistics, and he became fascinated with how these concepts could be applied to real life. He analyzed and graphed market fluctuations, trying to predict what a stock would do. At age 20, he read Benjamin Graham and understood that he was on the wrong track. He reorganized his mind and began investing in companies, not stocks. He never bought stocks again after reading The Intelligent Investor. He bought companies that happened to be publicly traded, but he became a business owner. He didn't care if a stock went up or down. What mattered to him was the intrinsic value of the company. At 20, Munger worked as a lawyer in Los Angeles and was a founding partner of the law firm Munger, Tolles & Olson. There he developed critical skills in problem-solving and strategy, which he would later apply in the world of investing. Although he was brilliant in mathematics and logic, he recognized that he did not have a great advantage over others in purely intellectual skills. Instead, he focused on better understanding human behavior and the emotions that influence financial decisions. This perspective led him to read authors like Richard Thaler and Daniel Kahneman, who explore how emotions and cognitive biases affect our decisions. At 30, Munger joined Warren Buffett at Berkshire Hathaway. Since then, he has been executive vice president and principal partner of Berkshire Hathaway. He has amassed a personal fortune of billions of dollars, but he has always emphasized that wealth is not what makes him happy. Happiness comes from doing what you enjoy and helping others. Munger believes that the key to financial success is the right guidance. He says that 90% of people who buy stocks don't think about them the right way. They hope they go up, and if they go down, they feel worse. But Munger thinks about what the company will do in 10 or 20 years. He hopes it goes down when he buys it because he wants to buy more. He tries to maintain his competitive experience. In a game where he can win, he knows that the game is very easy if you have the lessons in your mind about what you are. I am not buying shares. I am buying my own shares, pieces of overwhelming majority American businesses, and I am happy when I do it. He is happier when stocks go down because he can buy more of them with the same amount of money. Munger also believes that happiness does not depend on how many houses you have. If you have 2 houses, you know you have more problems and not more happiness. Happiness comes from what you do, not what you own. He enjoys 2 things from doing it. 1, I know I will win over time. And 2, you don't beat others or anything. The game is very easy if you have the lessons in your mind about what you are. Charlie Munger graduated from the University of Michigan in 1949 with a bachelor's degree in economics and mathematics. Subsequently, he obtained a law degree from Harvard University in 1951. He worked as a lawyer in Los Angeles and joined Warren Buffett at Berkshire Hathaway in 1978. Since then, he has served as executive vice president and a principal partner of Berkshire Hathaway. He has amassed a personal fortune of billions of dollars, but he has always emphasized that wealth is not what makes him happy. Happiness comes from doing what you enjoy and from helping others. Munger strongly believes in the importance of diversification and simplicity in investing. He often says that most people unnecessarily complicate themselves in life and in finance. He prefers to invest in companies that he fully understands and that he has confidence in their ability to generate long-term value. He believes that capitalism, with its ability to allocate resources efficiently, is the most effective economic system that exists. Finally, Munger is known for his philanthropy. He has donated millions of dollars to various causes, including education and medical research. He believes that social responsibility is an integral part of life and that the wealthy have a moral obligation to give back to the community what they have received. Munger has also stressed the importance of discipline and patience in investing. He often says that most people tend to act impulsively and based on emotions, which leads to unwise financial decisions. Instead, he prefers to make decisions based on logical and rational analysis. Furthermore, he has emphasized the importance of learning from mistakes and remaining humble in the face of ignorance. He believes that most people underestimate the importance of experience and continuing education in financial success. Munger has also spoken about the importance of ethics and integrity in business. He believes that companies that operate ethically and with integrity often have better long-term results. Furthermore, he has stressed the importance of collaboration and teamwork. He believes that the best results are achieved when people work together and support each other. Finally, Munger has highlighted the importance of patience and persistence in life. He believes that most people tend to seek quick and easy results, which leads to unwise decisions. Instead, he prefers to make decisions based on logical and rational analysis. Furthermore, he has emphasized the importance of learning from mistakes and of remaining humble in the face of ignorance. He believes that most people underestimate the importance of experience and continued education in financial success. And that's it for today's video. If you liked it, subscribe. Give it a like for more videos like this one.